Alright, what is going on, guys? Back again with another video. Sorry for taking so long between this one and the last one. There's been a lot of procrastinating going on lately. And, that's how it's always been here. So if you're not used to it by now, man, I don't know what to tell you. But to be completely honest, I'm surprised I can even still do this video and have it be half decent. But that's just been how slow the market's moving so far in this off season. So you know what? Whatever. Screw it. We're here. We're doing it. Let's just get right into it. Top 10 free agents and where I think they'll be going. And plus, if you stick around to the end, we're going to have some honorable mentions thrown in there as well. And without wasting any more time, let's just go ahead and get straight into this. Well, I was initially having Trevor Bauer going to the San Diego Padres. You know, they're a young team. They need pitching. And then they go out and trade for Blake Snell. And even at this point, I'm like, okay, you know, it could still happen. They have money to throw around. And then not even a day later, they go and they get Yu Darvish. So I think my dream of Trevor Bauer to the Padres is dead. So the question is, now what? Well, I think he'll be going to the Mets. Why? Steve Cohen wants to make a big splash. And I don't think that his guy is going to be George Springer. And although the Mets already have a really good rotation, just imagine putting Trevor Bauer in it. That'll give them some more flexibility. They'll be able to move some other pieces, although, you know, you can never have too much starting pitching depth. But the guy's an absolute workhorse. I feel like it makes the whole team better. It gives them a lot more room and moves to make in the offseason. And hey, fuck it. They got Steve Cohen now. Richest guy in the league. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Alright, next up we have JT Realmuto, and I think he's going to be going to the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, I know most of you are probably like, yo, the fuck are you talking about? Makes no sense. Well, I'm here to argue otherwise. Kinda. I know that it's a long shot. I know the Cardinals don't usually bite on the top free agents. You gotta look at it this way. Yadier Molina, he's probably gone. My guy's trying to make way too much money. And let's be honest, he's not that good anymore. So why would they give it to him instead of giving it to the best catcher in baseball right now? And one of the things they really need is better hitting anyway. So you kill two birds with one stone. You get a great hitter, and you filled probably the most important position on the field too. Because we all know that pitching is going to be good no matter what, because of their devil magic bullshit they got going on. And the Mets just signed James McCann. That would have been my other prediction. But since that's out of the picture, St. Louis Cardinals, lock it in. Next up, number 3, we got George Springer, and I think he'll be going to the Toronto Blue Jays. You know how everyone uses that cliche of saying, oh, they're young and hungry and all that bullshit. Well, if that perfectly applied to anything, that one thing would be the Blue Jays offense. I mean, you look at the players they got going up and down that lineup, the amount of fucking crazy ass young talent they have on that team. George Springer is the perfect addition to this unit. I don't care if he was sign stealing or not sign stealing. The guy's a great player on both sides of the ball. And I know the Blue Jays need pitching, like very badly. That's probably the thing holding them back the most. But there's not that much good pitching out there this offseason. So why the fuck not? George Springer, fuck it. And I don't want to see anyone say in the comments, oh, but they have Teoscar Hernandez. You know what, bro? George Springer and Teoscar Hernandez, big difference. You want pitching? Trade that guy for some pitching and get George Springer. That easy. Next up, we have Marcel Ozuna, and this one's kind of tough, I'm not going to lie. I think he'll be going to the Texas Rangers, but narrowing him down to any really specific team was kind of a tough process. I mean, right off the bat, you can eliminate half the league because he's not going to anyone without a DH. This guy cannot play defense for So at least we narrowed it down to the American League. And even there's a lot of teams that could use a big slugger, but there's also a lot of teams who are very cheap. So I went with Texas. The main reason being, ideally, 2021 will be their first year with fans in the new stadium, and not just for the World Series or playoffs, or whatever bullshit that was. And the Rangers were pretty terrible last year, so any kind of boost they can get is going to help people actually want to go to the games. Also, Shin-Soo Choo, he's out of here. Contract off the books, DH spot open, Marcel Ozuna in there, problem solved. If they could have at least one good thing going for them next year, that could be the offense. And this move would really solidify things, and it's just one of those things that makes sense in my brain. Next up, we have DJ LeMahieu. And I guess when I was typing this, I didn't put it in any specific order, so we're just going to roll with that excuse as to why he's number 5 on this list. But regardless, as a Yankees fan, all I can say is I think he'll be back with the Yankees, or at least I hope he'll be back with the Yankees. This guy is just so good. I don't mean to join the circle jerk that all Yankee fans have over this guy, but I mean, just look at the stats. The man is an absolute beast. It makes so much sense to bring him back, and genuinely, if they mess this up, I will smash my head into a brick wall. I mean, in my mind, it's either he's going to the Yankees, Mets, or Blue Jays, and the other 2 options would just be terrible. So please bring him back. I know they have the money. They're saying they don't have the money, which is ridiculous. So it's time to stop being cheap and get some shit done. Next up at number 6, we have Didi Gregorius. And here we got another re-signing. I think he's going back to the Phillies. I know, how exciting. But really, in this situation, it's a toss-up between the Phillies and the Angels. And I just think at the end of the day, he's probably going to go back to the Phillies. I mean, as far as I know, he likes Joe Girardi. Even from back in the Yankees days, they were together for a couple of years. And the guy always seems positive, so it looked like he liked being there. And I think it comes down to if they want him back, then he'll definitely be back. But the Phillies are another one of the teams being cheap and saying they're broke, even though we all know that's complete nonsense. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to find his way back there one way or another. And at number 7, we have the Los Angeles Angels and Masahiro Tanaka. Another strange combo, but one I think ultimately is going to happen. The main reason being, I don't think the Yankees want him back. I think they should try to get him back, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Mainly because I've been seeing rumors on the streets, and yes, by the streets I mean r/New York Yankees, that they don't have the money to get both DJ and Tanaka. And while that is complete, straight up bullshit, if you had to choose between one of the two, the clear choice is DJ LeMahieu. So I guess that means Tanaka is out of here. And as for the Angels, they need pitching, man. They've needed pitching for like the last 10 years, and they've somehow failed to get some pretty much every single year. Like, it's honestly getting impressive at this point. And they're definitely going to miss out on Bauer. I mean, when was the last time they got the top dog on the market ever? And they end up signing guys who are not quite as good. Not saying Tanaka isn't good, I think he is, but he's not the ace that they need. But they're going to get him anyway, because that's just the way they're run. Also, things do kind of fall off pretty hard after Bauer, and I think Tanaka is probably the second best option. Still going to be weird seeing him in a different uniform though. And at number 8, we have Liam Hendriks, and we have him going to the Philadelphia Phillies. And this one, realistically, when you think about it, is a match made in heaven. Because that Phillies bullpen is an absolute fucking dumpster fire. There's no redeeming qualities in it. Anyone half decent is hurt. Everyone else might as well just be not on the fucking team at all because they're useless. So if they're going to do anything this offseason, strengthening the bullpen should probably be at the top of that list. Their bullpen last year was historically bad. My friend who's a Phillies fan told me like multiple times throughout the season that it's like one of the worst bullpens of all time, like all modern era baseball. The 2020 Phillies bullpen is like the second worst, and that's pretty damn impressive for all the wrong reasons. So Jesus Christ, you have to do something. Hendriks is one of the best relievers available, and while he won't solve the other guys in the bullpen being absolutely terrible, having one good one is a nice start. It almost makes too much sense, which is why it probably won't end up happening, but that's my prediction for now. Next up, we have Jake Odorizzi, and I think he'll be going back to the Minnesota Twins. Another re-signing. Again, how exciting. But basically, Jake Odorizzi's 2020 was just destroyed by really, really stupid injuries. I don't remember exactly what they were. I think he like jammed his thumb in a paper shredder or something stupid, or had like a blister or something and missed like 3.5 months. But they weren't big injuries. They were really stupid injuries. And because of that, he had a pretty terrible year. But when the guy is healthy, when he's performing at like a normal level, he's actually a pretty damn good pitcher. Definitely one of the best ones on the free agent market, because like I said, it gets thin after Bauer. And he's been in the league for a pretty long time now. I think because of his injuries and because of the poor performance caused by his injuries, probably makes the most sense just to reunite with Minnesota, even if it's on like a 1 or 2 year deal, something like that. so he could rebuild his value. That'll most likely be the case into what happens for him, unless he ends up being like the Angels' top signing of the offseason or something like that. Because let's be honest, that is completely possible. And at this point, probably likely. Finally, at number 10, we have Michael Brantley. And I think he's going to be going to the Atlanta Braves. And to be honest, this has more to do with the Braves than it does Michael Brantley. I know he's not the best defender right now, but that bat is still really good. And that's one thing the Braves have been doing lately, is been signing short-term, highly effective hitters. We look a couple years ago, Josh Donaldson fits that bill perfect, especially when they got him for cheap. Then we look last year, Marcel Ozuna, 1-year deal. You see where I'm getting at? I think Michael Brantley is going to be another one of these guys, because left field, you know, obviously they have to fill the void of Ozuna somehow, and Michael Brantley's pretty damn good, so why not use him? That team is already nasty, so getting another guy like Brantley definitely wouldn't hurt. And now that we're done with all the main guys on the list, here are the honorable mentions, and here we go. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Let me know down in the comment section below, where do you think these guys are going? Let me get your predictions. We'll have a nice civil discussion. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace.